Hello, Plugin India community. Welcome to a special chat we've managed to organize for you, especially for those of you who booked the OLA Electric Scooter and are following OLA Electric. Today, we have with us Mr. Varun Dubey, who is the Chief Marketing Officer of OLA Electric. Today is January 21st, 2022, and at 6 p.m., the final payment window for your OLA scooter will be opened up. Those of you who've paid 20,450 can make the final payment and hope to get their scooter in the months of Jan, Feb, and March. So let's chat with Varun and hear from him. Welcome, Varun. Thank you for your time.
Hey, Rafet. Great to be on the show, man.
All right. So we've really been looking forward to Varun, and there are so many questions, but today is just about this payment window. So let's talk about that. So today, 6 p.m., this is when thousands of people all over India are going to start making their payments, and they'll be confirming their order of the Ola S1 Pro and
Right.
without the performance upgrade. So just to get this straight, the payment window is only for those who have paid 20,490 and not for those who have paid 490 or want to buy a brand new scooter today itself. Can you clarify this, please, for the community?
So the people who paid the 499 are the people that we call reservers. So this
Right.
window is not for the reservers. This window is for those who paid us the advance payment of 20,000 and the reservation of 499. So totally 20,499. They will be able to pay the balance amount today for their S1 or S1 Pro scooters. And then, we will dispatch them over Jan and Feb like we announced last week.
Awesome. So for those who are interested in buying the S1 Pro using a bank loan, can you explain the process a little bit? What are the documents required for finalizing the payment?
Absolutely. So actually, we have a digital process, from a customer's approval standpoint. So, they basically, when they're making the payment, they will be able to choose financing as an option. And then they will be able to pick our financing partners, say IDFC or Tata Capital. And then, they will have the financing journey. There can be an online OTP verification, etc. And then, it'll go through, and then, they will know the amount that has been approved for them, and they will, if it is the full balance amount. So let's say, let's say the Ola S1 Pro comes for 1,30,000, and they have already made a down payment of 20,000. Then for the remaining, they can choose to make an additional down payment, or they can finance the whole amount depending on how much loan they get from the bank. And then they will be able to do all of this digitally. They don't have to do anything offline. And once all of this is approved, we will then, verify the documentation and then, move the process forward.
All right. Thanks for that, Varun. So we've announced that in December, about 4,000 scooters have already been dispatched. Now, this is huge. How are you going about solving the complexities of registration and what difficulties the customers are facing? Can you explain the complexities involved in this
absolutely.
kind of a...
This has been, Rafet, this has been a learning experience for us as well. The nuances, regional nuances of registration, regional nuances of transportation have been a learning experience for us. And, we've been working very hard, and we have already made improvement to several parts of our process for this round that we're opening today, so that customers have a much more seamless experience. A few things that, that end up happening is that not every state has a fully digital process, right? Everyone is trying to get there. Obviously at the same time, I fully appreciate that, no one has really tried to do this at the scale that we're doing it, to try and do a fully digital process. So all of us are sort of learning, but that ends up being a big part of the, registration process time that it takes. Secondly, we also realize that a lot of customers, when they fill their details, there is some slightly less diligence in that. So they have spelling mistakes, etc. Now, especially in EVs where you're trying to claim FAME subsidy, etc., the details need to match exactly as per Aadhaar. And if they don't, then they have to then also match your registration details. So if these three things don't match, then we have to go into a manual loop where we have to call the customers, and they have to give us fresh documents in some cases, or correct the spellings, etc. And that ends up taking a lot of time, because sometimes customers don't have those documents. So as an example, in a case where, let's say, your Aadhaar, you have provided your Aadhaar, and the Aadhaar card has your name and your address, and that is the name and address in which you want the registration. and that is also the name and address in which you want the delivery. This is the simplest case, right? As long as you don't make any typos, there will be no problem. But if a scenario in which, let's say, you live in a different location from what it says on your Aadhaar, now you have to provide a separate address proof. In some states, if you don't have the Aadhaar proof, then you have to anyway provide two other proofs. So these are then becoming offline loops that we have to close. So, to improve the customer experience on this, right? This time, what we are doing is that we are introducing a new step that we are calling the document verification step. So, what we'll do in this step is, as soon as you give us the order, within 72 hours, our team will actually check every document before the order moves forward, right? And at that stage itself, if there are any issues, we will reach out to the customer and get the documents or whatever corrections have to be done upfront, right? And only then will we move this order to the dispatch stage. So what this will allow us to do is to allow to front load all the manual effort that may be required in case somebody's put a typo or somebody's put the wrong document or the document scan is not clean or it's not readable, etc., or whatever those operational issues might be. And that should then allow for a much smoother process later, because then this will not happen at the registration loop, which is really at the end. And this will also give much more predictability to customers in terms of understanding. The third thing that we've done is that we've also, because now we have learned in the previous step, we are providing a much more informed and a realistic timeline on how long we think registration might take. So customers will now start seeing that after dispatch, we have learned that it can take up to 3 weeks for the scooter to reach a location near you and finish up the registration process for delivery. Because there are multiple steps which require multiple times for us to reach out to the customers for their OTPs and all that. So we have taken a lot of these learnings and put them into the process from today onwards. So we're really hoping that this makes the experience for this set of customers a lot simpler and a lot smoother. I also want to thank the first set of customers, the 4,000 customers in December, for really being patient with us and really supporting us in this journey. This revolution wouldn't have kicked off without them. We've delivered pretty much all of those guys. I think only a few cases where some of these document mismatches or some RTO issues remain are the only few people where it is not there. But from that journey, we have learned a lot for this batch. So I hope these guys have a much smoother experience. So we're very excited about opening this now today at 6 p.m. What we have done is what I was just explaining, that we have actually made changes to the entire process from purchase to delivery. Right. And each of these will now be more clearer steps that customers will be able to see. So they will be able to understand exactly what's happening at that step.
True.
Right. And that should also reinforce or give them the clarity that they need, that exactly what stage their order is in. So things like we now have the document verification step, right? At that step itself, a lot of the anxiety will go away. Right, then the step is that this vehicle is now dispatched. Right, after that we give them an alert that hey, now it's reached the distribution center near you. After that, we also solve for the Vahan registration process. Right, and then there is the wet signatures and that people need to take, and then obviously upload back into Vahan. Then get the number. In some cases, after the final upload into Vahan, we still have to go physically to the RTO, and then get the number. Once we get the number, we then affix the plates, and then only can we do the delivery. So, so many of these will now become clearer steps for the customers to see. And I think a lot of this will get mitigated just because we will now move document verification to the start. Right, and that is also when we'll sort of end up checking our FAME subsidy eligibility and all that. So customers are very clear right after they make the payment. Within 3 to 4 days, we will reach out to them and let them know that okay, your order is going ahead. We have everything you need. You're all set. Or you need to provide these extra documents. Or hey, you made a spelling mistake. Or you put the PIN code wrong. Or things don't match. So on and so forth.
Okay. So Varun, 4,000 deliveries. This is incredible. No electric scooter company has ever done these numbers in 1 month. And so that brings up the question: is your production primed for beating this number in Jan, Feb, March, and all the people who pay the
Absolutely, but I have to say, Rafe, that we are having a very interesting problem that obviously every time we come out to the customers, we do our best to anticipate what kind of excitement we're going to see, and every time we feel a little underprepared because the customer love is just so much, and there are so many people who are interested in what we're in our product. So we've done our best to be prepared, but I guess in a few hours we'll find out. Once this goes live, but the production is ramping up really well. We had announced some time back that we are now almost doing 1,000 a day. So we feel quite confident that we should be able to fulfill these orders quickly and then dispatch them through Jan and Feb.
That's true, Varun. I mean, from what you said, we understand that there's been a lot of learning there, and definitely people are going to be getting their deliveries in time. That's what we think, because we can see how rapidly you all are progressing. In Twitter, we see a lot of Ola S1 Pro owners taking deliveries, and not only in big cities, also in small towns. That's very interesting. And we have suddenly seen this surge of EVs becoming more and more accessible, even in the smaller towns of India, and much more than ever before. So, direct sales, this is what we are seeing here, direct sales, which is bypassing the entire dealer network. That's what we see enabling this. Is this the model for the future, Varun, for the auto industry in general? How can it work in a complex country like India, where you yourself mentioned all these complexities that you have on the local scenario, where people actually prefer to have some, touch and feel, somebody to hold their hand, some physical person to meet, to take care of their vehicle? What's your take on that,
And
Varun?
it's a great question. And Rafi, I would just expand what you're saying a little bit. That it's not just really for us direct sales model. It's actually a complete shift to a direct to consumer model, right?
Right.
Typically, auto do not have a direct engagement with their customers, right? They always do it through intermediaries like dealers. We don't believe in that. We believe that the best brand experience can be given when the brand has full control and directly engages with the customers, and we should engage with the customers directly. After all, they are who we are building everything for. And so if you look at our entire journey, right, whether it is our production, we have done this in the open with sharing constant updates with the community, with the customers, because we are doing this for them, right? There are so many people at Ola Electric working so hard every day and many, many nights, for the community. And so, we want to have that direct relationship with them. It has a lot of benefits, right? One, you can really real time understand and hear from your customers and react very quickly, which you would have seen us do several times in the last year. There are things that we did really well. Customers told us, we continue to do it. There are a few things we didn't do so well. Customers told us, and we immediately fixed it. I think that's very hard to do unless you have a direct relationship with the customer. Secondly, if you look at the distribution model, our delivery model being D2C, we have said this in the past that when we opened up reservations as well as bookings for the advance payment, we have seen this come across 1,000 towns and cities in India. Literally, kone kone mein order aa rahe, right? And I mean, IOA, right? And we wanted to make sure that we're catering to all of them, right? Because this is not just an urban phenomenon, like you rightly said. And doing a direct to consumer just makes it easier because you have so much more visibility and control. Obviously, for someone like us, there is a little bit of a learning curve that we have gone through. But that's a temporary state, and as soon as we learn and we improve, these things will become much smoother. Finally, I would also say that direct to consumer service has been, I think, quite a revelation for people. There was a lot of people who were skeptical or had questions on this at the start, saying how will we provide service. But like you said, if you see what customers are saying on Twitter and other platforms, I think they have been blown away by this. They have been blown away by the speed of the resolution, the quality of the resolution, and even the scale of the resolution. Right? Like for us, if a customer has a problem, nothing is more important. And we've reached out to customers when they've reached out to us at say 11 in the night or 1 in the morning or whenever. And we have resolved this. And many customers have told me that when they see the speed at which they reach out to us and the speed at which we respond and not just get back to them, but actually solve the problem, many have said that it's been faster for us to resolve the problem than for them to even reach their dealers on the phone. Right. And I think this is possible only because there is a direct to consumer model where we can take those calls as a brand. I think finally also, even if you look at the deliveries, right? customers, I mean, we are seeing so much excitement from customers, and we're thrilled about it, and we're very thankful for that. What that is leading to is that many times customers are telling us that, hey, we alert the customer as soon as we get the numbers in the scooter ready, right? So let's say we update them at 10 in the night saying, hey, your scooter is ready, and we're going to deliver it to you tomorrow. And many customers will call us and say, no, can you please come and deliver it now? And we're like, ma'am, it's 3 hours away, so we'll be there at 1 a.m. We will come, but will you be up at 1 a.m. to give it to you? And they'll be like, yes, of course, you please come at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., and we'll take the scooter. And that's why you're seeing so many customers posting saying that we showed up at 3 a.m. So it's been quite an exciting journey, and I think all of these are really big benefits of the direct to consumer, because you're able to give a much better experience. It's a much more predictable experience, and it's a much more high quality experience for customers, right? And I think this is possible only because of this model. And I certainly believe that going forward, more and more brands will move in this direction, is what I feel.
Wow. So you actually feel this is something that can change the entire industry. So coming back to customer service, you have this concept of brand champion. Can you explain how this works regarding service?
Absolutely. So we have two actually sets of people. One is a brand champion and one is a service champion, right? Okay. So the brand champions are typically people who handhold the customers. Once the scooter reaches at a distribution center, then our brand champions in the local team in that area reach out to the customer and they handhold him through the entire registration process. Because, as you know, there are multiple interventions required, including physical signatures. Some states require physical photographs along with the product, etc. So we do a lot of those things, and our brand champions help that. They obviously also give the initial orientation to customers about the scooter, and they give them the initial briefing. And then, for some duration, they are the single point of contact for a customer to call at any given point in time for any issues or any questions they might have. The reason we do it is because we fully appreciate that electric vehicles is a new category, and with Ola and all of us have really made it a mass market category, right? We are the scale that we are at and the interest that we are seeing, and so it's really up to us to, in many ways, also create that education about EVs and solve these initial doubts that customers might have. One of the common questions that we have seen, for example, and you would have seen this on social media as well, is the fact that a lot of customers are learning about electrical wiring and earthing in their houses, right? Because chargers can sometimes be very sensitive to that. And, we obviously, so as we started doing that, we obviously had anticipated that. So what we do is, when the brand champion goes to deliver the scooter, right, we actually send him with the equipment to test the plug points and stuff. And then they actually tell the customer at the point of delivery that, hey, your thing is not okay, or your thing is okay. And if your thing is not okay and you want us to do something about it, we obviously have a service and we can come and do it. Or you can get it done through your own electrician as well. But at least we inform the customer saying, hey, some change is required, and then customers take that. That has been very big help to customers to also get that education. And so the brand champions sort of do the early hand-holding and the education piece. Then we have service champions, which is this crack team of amazing people, who are solvers of all problems. So when any customers have a minor issue or anything of any kind, they can call a service line. And what we do then is that, depending on the issue, in case we're not able to solve it remotely, our service champions will show up at their house with a service van. And then most things we can actually solve on premises. So customers never have to, we don't have to take the scooter away, it's away. They have unavailability of the scooter for a very, very short duration. In some cases, let's say somebody's met with an accident or whatever. And then at that point in time, we'll take the scooter in the van and take it back and fix it. And then make it new, and then we bring it back to them. So in either case, there is this benefit of home service where they don't really have to do anything at all. They just need to give us a call, and then we will come and fix everything. And I think you will see on social media that tons and tons of people have written that whatever their issues were between a brand champion and a service champion, they were resolved exceedingly fast. And I think that is the new normal of service experience that will get set in the auto industry as well. And certainly, from the world we come from, which is consumer internet, people want things done in minutes. So, we are trying to, do the equivalent of that for the auto industry to make it as fast as we can.
All right. So instant gratification. That's what it seems to be promising. One last question that I want to ask you, maybe taking a little bit of a long-term vision, because that's what we really, really connected with when Bhavish gave his speech about Mission Electric. And we have seen this spectacular growth in EVs in 2021, especially. Do you think that 2022 will also see similar growth in the EV space? And if so, what do you think would be driving this growth? What's Ola Electric's view on this?
Absolutely. I think, you will see this growth only accelerate. And certainly Ola will play a big part of it. But like we said in Mission Electric that, we want to make sure and we invite everybody in the industry to join hands with us and make sure that India becomes a petrol-free nation as far as two-wheelers are concerned. And then after 2025, no more petrol two-wheelers sold in India and everybody's on electric. It's a difficult goal, but it is definitely possible, especially if industry and the consumers get together. So if you look at this holy trinity of change, right, which is the government, the consumer, and the industry, right? There is no denying that the government is extremely positive and supportive of the change to EVs. I think they have done everything and more possible to enable it. If you look at what has been happening with us and our orders and the excitement around our product, clearly the consumers have already moved to electric, right? No, this is not a discussion anymore saying should we buy electric. I think everybody's convinced that they should buy electric. Yeah. Only question is when is the next payment window? So, so that's happened. So I think the only part really left is for the industry to really deliver, right? And for all of us to come together and give great products to customers. And customers will buy the product that suits their lifestyle the best. So we encourage everyone to come in. And I think as the year goes by, 2022, 2023, 2024, the growth and the acceptance and the space at which EVs will dominate is only going to grow, and the pace at which people are going to switch is also only going to grow. So I think we're just getting started. There's a lot of excitement. There's obviously huge rapid pace that the industry is changing at, but I think it's only going to accelerate in the future.
Awesome. Thanks, Varun. And all of you who are watching, hearing us, you've heard Varun's views. He's very aware of the problems, even at the minutest level where earthing or phase reversal is concerned. And they are tackling all these problems in the best way possible, giving you an almost instant gratification experience, which is unheard of in the auto industry, I must say. So this is a fantastic job. We are very, very happy, Varun. Thank you so much for being here with us. There is a separate discussion we'll be having with Varun later about the scooter, its features, what's good and what can be improved. And at that point of time, we will be taking some community questions. If you have any questions on the scooter, please write in the comments below. And thank you so much once again, Varun, and good luck for today's bookings.
Thank you, Rafi. I hope your customers are watching this and they join us at 6 p.m. for the payment window opening. All right, take care.
All right, take care.